My husband cheated on me with 17 men and is asking me for forgiveness.
My husband went on a last date with his ex a week before our wedding just to make sure.
So currently at the moment, I am dating 3 different men. And when I say all of these men bring value into my life in different ways, I really urge other women to experiment and date different men at the same time.
I found out my husband was cheating. I never confronted him, stayed with him another year while I planned the ultimate get back.
Hi ladies, welcome back to yet another video. I'm excited to do this Storytime compilation because it is so juicy. And like I said yesterday, today is Friday and today we are doing Storytime. So ladies, I don't want to waste your time. Grab your snacks, grab a blanket, continue doing whatever you're doing, and let's jump right into it. And then after that, I'll be back to give my take on it.
I found out my husband was cheating. I never confronted him, stayed with him another year while I planned the ultimate get back. Before I moved the house off of the land while he was at work, that phone that I never checked, I got logged into the cell phone bill. I found that there were 3 important women: the 23-year mistress, the woman who had the 2 kids for him that were ages 5 and 7, and there was a female in the hood who had just had a newborn. How did I get the passcode to his cell phone, you ask? I set up a mirror perfectly in the bedroom near the bed where he would sit and hold his phone to unlock his phone to kind of scroll, I was able to get the password, and one night he came in a little too full and he was unaware of what was going on. So I went through the phone and saved all of these things to my phone and started getting statements with all of his incoming calls, outgoing calls, incoming text, and outgoing text. Those checking and savings accounts that I paid little attention to, I got logins to those too. He was waiting for a large settlement to come in that he had been waiting on for 5 years that was due to come in 3 months. I started moving that money in small increments where he would not notice. I put the house up for sale on the internet that Monday after the Saturday the 23-year mistress sent me the gallery of photos of them. I had purchased that home in cash with all of my own money, and his name was not on it. And there was a female in the hood who had just had a newborn. I reached out to her and we met up. She was a game runner. She thought she was about to run game on me, but I ran game on her. She was sued for alienation of affection. Because she was a willing participant in the demise of the marriage, she had to pay too. And she thought she was finessing me, but I knew that I would get double for my trouble. And then there was the 23-year mistress. I owed her something special. She made sure that when she let me know about their relationship, she also let me know that she always knew about me, always knew about my kids, but she could care less. I also found out he was cheating with one of her friends, so I made sure she knew about her best friend. And the videos of him and her friend in the act must have really did something to her. She ended up transferring job locations, popped up at his job with him and the friend, which was his other woman. There was a big fight and scuffle, and they all lost their jobs. I never said anything to him, remember? So when he came home, he was upset and angry. He kept leaving every day like he was going to work, and I knew he had got fired, but he just couldn't say anything. He didn't know where any of it was coming from. I disconnected his phone while the house was being moved. I changed my phone number so he couldn't make contact. I went no contact and never talked to him again. And married his mistress cousin. And made his mistress my cousin-in-law. Hey, cousin. It's just never fun when the rabbit got the...
No, because how you fuck up this bad? My cousin just called me talking about we outside. She saw a random $50,000 deposit and called to verify what the money was for. Apparently her baby daddy's mom passed away and he was the beneficiary on the life insurance. The state took the money for back child support. Look at the screenshots. She has like this in Georgia, and you can see he's supposed to be paying $781 a month. Look how much he is behind, $52,000. And she want to look at that. A deposit for 50, man. Now I'm reading through the comments and the men like, yo, I would crash the fuck out. And honestly, I feel like that's justified. But at the same time, for you to be $52,000 behind in child support and your monthly payment is $781, don't worry, I already did the math. That means you hadn't paid child support in almost 6 fucking years. What did you think was going to happen? fellas, please just take care of your kids, pay the child support, do whatever it is that you got to do so you don't end up in a fucking situation like this. Oh my God.
I know y'all seen that lady on Facebook say that she been catfishing her husband from a fake account for over a year. And she would come clean. She said, I would come clean. But he done sent me more money through this catfish than he's ever sent me or paid for as his wife. Don't tell him, sister. She said he sent her more money as a side piece than he's ever spent nor paid for things as a husband. Baby, I wouldn't tell him shit. Put me in the wheel twice.
My homeboy left his wife for someone that his wife knew. So I asked him, I said, well, man, can I be with your ex-wife? And he gonna say, no, you can't be with my ex-wife. What kind of question is that? It don't even matter, man. I'm already with his ex-wife. His ex-wife, I always wanted to be with his wife, his ex-wife, you know what I mean? So it don't matter. He probably gonna find out via this video that I'm with his ex-wife, but it don't matter. Me and her, we got plans. We're going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee on Valentine's Day. We're gonna be in the cabins up in the mountain. We're gonna be in that hot tub, and I'm gonna be giving his ex-wife the loving that he wasn't giving her. Two wrongs don't make a right, but in this situation, we're gonna be wrong until otherwise. But you know, at this moment, his wife, his ex-wife, is the love of my life. So he found the love of his life with a woman that his ex-wife knew. So why can't his ex-wife be happy with a man that he knows or knew? He probably don't want to be my friend no more, but it is what it is.
My friend had an intimate relationship with his mother, and I would like to talk about this because he told me I could talk about it if he ever passed away. And this morning I woke up to news that he had crossed over to the next life. So let's talk about this. My friend, I went over to his house. He lived in Knockemstiff, Ohio. Knockemstiff, Ohio doesn't have that big of a population, so anybody that watching this in Knockemstiff, you'll know who it is. So afterwards, I discover, after arriving at his household, I see that he gives his mom a kiss on her cheek, and I say, oh, that's pretty okay, all right. Most people give their mom a kiss on the cheek. That's pretty cool. Then his mom gives him a kiss on the lips. That confused me a little bit, but you know, I've seen crazier things. I've been to France before. I know what's going on. So after this whole debacle happens, he says, hey man, we've known each other for quite some time. That's not true. I've known him for a month. It's not been quite some time, but men have very intimate connections with people they've known for a short amount of time. Ask any woman on the planet. Now, he said, me and my mom would be getting down and dirty. I'm thinking he's talking about cooking, maybe even hiking, maybe even gardening, something of that variety. He said, nah, I just need somebody to tell you somebody just because it feels like taboo. Me and my mom, we're very connected. I said, connected? Okay, like Bluetooth? Okay, we connected. Do Siri. He said, no. I said, He said, we're connected. Like, I'm with her. After my dad passed, she didn't have a man. I said, oh, hold up a second. Whoa, hold up a second. Whoa. He's telling me some nonsense. He's telling me something that's only known for Alabama. We're in Ohio. I'm really confused. He says, yeah, my dad passed away, and I didn't want my mom to be lonely. I didn't trust no men, so I took up the mantle. I said, oh, okay. Well, you know, I didn't know what to say. I was speechless for the first time in quite some time. For first time maybe in my life, I was looking for words to say because I had never encountered this situation before. I had never seen anybody that was desperately in an intimate relationship with their own person that they came from, the literal womb they came back from. He really had a craving to go back home because he was nostalgic for something. He was someplace for 9 months, and that messed me up a little bit. And then he said something that really shook me to my actual core. He said, is it really that wrong to want your mom to be loved by somebody that you know could treat her right? I said, that is I don't know what to tell you, man. That's a sentence. And his mom came in. I thought he was playing, or I thought he was pulling some joke on me. His mom, I walked up to her, very lovely lady. I said, hey, you know what I'm saying, your son is making up crazy allegations and rumors about you two doing things, you know, in the privacy of your own house. And she said, we are. I said, oh, shout out to One Piece. We are? That's crazy. I was sick to my stomach. I threw up. And I didn't even sleep in the same household. I got a motel when I was invited to spend the night. I was a little bit upset. And he said, hey, could you please not tell anybody about this? I said, not tell anybody, but I was in the middle of making a Facebook post. I was about to tell the world, I was about to make a YouTube I was about to pay an editor to hire somebody to get this story out to the public, to the masses. And he said, just do it after I'm gone. I said, after you're gone? He said, tell people after I'm gone, because I can't have this be out. I got too many close personal friends. I got too many people that know me. I said, why would you tell me? He said, because I feel like you're easy to talk to. I said, oh, me? Easy to talk to? That's fair, that's valid. So, I've held on to this secret for 4 years. 4 years I've been holding on to this in my entire soul and my body. Now you guys know. Now my entire audience knows. Now anybody who wants to share this video knows. Person's gone now. Mom is gone, he's gone. Doesn't matter to me at this point. That's scary. You probably wonder, well, how did he pass away? Gun violence? I'm not gonna lie to anybody, gun violence. That's I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He walking down the street, boom! Oh my goodness! He got acme. He got hit by an anvil going walking across the street. That was a very comical death. God really plays the craziest jokes on people. I'm not even religious, and God plays jokes. That was just psychotic. I'm not gonna lie to anybody.
Mom, I'm not mad at you for coming to my school looking bad.
Why?
Because Jessica Mama came to her school. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Jessica Mama came to her school looking a hot ass mess. Literally, her booty was out, wearing a crop top, her hair was messed up. Literally, everybody started laughing at Jessica. Today is the greatest day of my life, because Jessica Mama, when she showed up there, everybody's like, ooh, is that Jessica Mama? Ain't nobody, and I mean nobody, worried about your legs lifting anymore. Everybody worrying about Jessica Mama.
Y'all kids messy.
But yeah, I am so happy that Jessica Mama came up there looking a hot mess, so now nobody is picking on me. They're picking on Jessica because her mama booty was out and she was wearing a crop top and her hair was like everywhere.
So currently at the moment, I am dating 3 different men. And when I say all of these men bring value into my life in different ways, I really urge other women to experiment and date different men at the same time. Now, they all have different purposes. One is an amazing provider. He literally provides everything that I need. If I call him up right now and say, hey, I need this, or my kids need this man is willing to jump to come help me. But the thing is, he kind of lacks my interest in adult time. So that's where my second one comes into play. When I say he is an amazing friend, he is the most amazing friend in this world. But the thing is, he's kind of lacking in the providing area, but he provides in ways that are very satisfying to me. When I say he is amazing when it comes down to adult times, yes, I keep him in the back of my pocket. Then we have the last one, which is my older man. He's the one that likes to wine and dine me. He takes me out. We do a lot of fun things together. All he asks is for me to spend time with him. And whenever he wants to go out, I go out with him. We do a lot of shopping. I help him with groceries. Like, there are just things that he said he feels lonely and I'm just there for companionship. We literally be sitting in his garden just talking. This man has taught me so many things. And he doesn't ask for much. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And ladies, when I say keep your options open, keep them open. Until one of them men get on their knees and they ask you to marry them, baby, date them all, because every man will bring out a different side of you. And yes, I will add on another man if another man comes around and brings value to my life.
Someone's threatening to out me on the internet, exposing the reason that I'm getting a divorce. So I'll go ahead and tell y'all myself because I'm not ashamed. Now, I don't owe any explanations, but because I brought my divorce to the internet, I might just explain what's going on. Here are the quick facts. My husband and I were married for 7+ years. For 6 of those years, he and I worked 2 different shifts. It was an interracial marriage. I lived in a place where not very many people looked like me. There weren't a lot of shared politics, and my family was 8+ hours away. Also, to add to this recipe for disaster, I was living in an RV for 4+ years with this man, and around year 4, it started really, the wear and tear was there. So like if you wanted to take a shower, you had to walk to a shower house. Hot water was sketchy, propane was sketchy. If you wanted to cook, you had to do like an induction stovetop. At some point, it started to get to me, and I couldn't pull a trigger on the job that no longer served me. When I went remote, my husband and I talked, and we both thought it would be a great idea for me to go work remotely from where my family was, just so I could see them and reconnect. And he said things like, I'm excited for you. I was excited. He was excited. He was like, if I could, I would. And I felt very supported. I felt extremely supported. So I went. We don't have pets or kids or any extra responsibilities like that. So we didn't discuss a timeline on when I would return. Here's the shocking part that you're waiting on. I worked for my family's home for a total of 3 months. 3 months. Now in this time, I did talk to my husband every day. He did come to visit us frequently. I did go home frequently. In that 90 days, something snapped for him, and I want to tread lightly because he has requested that I do not talk about him on my social media, but I want to be able to speak to my experience. So I'll say this. When I left, I felt very supported, and we had this agreement that I would go work with my family, be with them, connect, heal, do whatever I needed to do to kind of get that switch back in my walk. And it went to me being accused of abandonment of marriage and leaving my marriage, specifically him, and that was the intention and the goal the entire time. In marriage counseling, which is something that we did the entire time that we were married, a therapist told us that only one person's hurt can be seen at a time. So when he was telling me that he wanted me to come home, and it wasn't coming out like, hey, I miss you, I want you to come home, I miss connection. It was coming out like, husband and wife are supposed to live together, you need to come home because it's the right thing to do. I said, this isn't verbatim, but ultimately I was like, you are demanding me home and I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be by myself. No community, no connection. I have to sit in silence in the smallest RV that barely functions while you sleep just because you think husband and wives are supposed to live together. And that wasn't a proper response either. I would never do that again. Don't do that. Just everybody. Ultimately, I started packing for home when he started to use the phrase abandonment because we are believers. And there are a few reasons that you can get divorced in the Bible. Abandonment is one of those. So I knew where it was heading. While I was packing to return, my mom ended up having a massive stroke. I just happened to be local at the time. I went to her home. I was the one who found her. So then I stepped into this caregiver role, and I was trying to be a caregiver in one state, go back and forth and be a wife in another. And on one of the trips to our state where we live, I was like, I got to go back to Tennessee where my mom is to answer these questions, do this paperwork. And he asked me, when are you coming back? And I said, well, I don't know. And that's not because I plan on staying there. It's because if you know anything about a caregiver, you are on the system's time. My absence was something he didn't want to go through again. So ultimately he decided to file for divorce. When I started posting about our divorce online, it was very much out of a place of hurt. So I want to be fair and tell some other sides of the story that I did not share at the time. I was laid off 2 days before he made the decision to divorce me. And since then, he has been covering my portion of our shared bills. And we were a 50-50 marriage. He has attempted to remain a friend from day one. And I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't ready for that. There are times that I think I'm still not ready for that. He has also volunteered to help me get back on my feet as I announce I'm starting a new job. There you have it. So to the person, and it's not my ex-husband, who said they were going to come and lay it all bare, I beat you to it.
I will tell you this one more time. Leave that man alone. This is the 19th session, 1-9. Nothing has changed. Learn, absorb. What are you missing? What is wrong with you? He is horrible to you. Horrible, cruel. He's a cheater. He's a liar. He's a fake. He's a phony. He's dumb. He's unfortunate looking in the face. Rotund in the waist. Leave him alone. Why are you enriching me with your idiocy? Why are you paying me so much to tell you the same thing over and over and over again? You are the reason I can afford my third car. It is because you are too dim-witted. Your wit has dimmed. Leave him alone. You haven't given me not one good reason why you're still with him. Why are you still with him?
I love him. Dr. Rhea? Dr. Rhea?
Story time how I lost my V card to a white boy cosplaying as a light-skinned redhead. A lot of y'all were like, I would have took this to my grave. You could have beat this out of me. And I was like, bro, I know it's not that bad, but it is that bad. So let's just get the rundown. Let's just get it over with, okay? The story is not really about me losing my V card. It's about me finding out that he wasn't really black. So let's just start off how I met this person first of all. So I was a new student. I moved 8th grade to this other middle school. Quick disclaimer, if you are the person, if you see this, we're cool, we're vibing, we're friends. Like, it's just content. Back into it. I obviously had, straight away, I seen it. I was like, damn, you feel it? So yeah, like I obviously had a crush on him straight away. But when I first saw him, I thought he was Mexican because he had his little like curly hair, like, you know, like that little curly like Mexican, like, you know? So fast forward into the middle year, like we started saying like, oh, like you fine, like we do it, that. Not do it, but we start talking and it was cool. It was a cool little vibe, but it just didn't really like work out. He got a girlfriend and then it was just back and forth dumb shit, okay? But he hit me up like on my birthday the year before junior year and was like basically apologizing about like the little situation I had with this other girl, whatever. And we decided to make it work. But I really like this dude, so like I was just like, okay, fuck it, like, So yeah, we talk, I go over to his house, you know, like a week before I start my junior year. And it was cool. Like I had no complaints, like it was fine, you feel me? This is when shit started to get left. A little honeymoon phase, but it hit back when we was actually in school. And you know me, I'm finna turn up. You feel me? Like it's a new year. Like what you talking about? So it was homecoming, and you know I was obviously talking to him. I really liked him, but he didn't ask me to homecoming. He didn't ask me nor give me a ticket. And I was just like, wow, cool. It was the night of homecoming, and we saw each other, and he didn't even say I looked nice when he see me. Like, where did he do that? So, you know, he had me fucked up the whole night, and, you know, he wasn't trying to dance with me. He wasn't trying to do shit. I was like, okay, well, this nigga right here, he's trying to dance with me, so I'm gonna turn up. He was obviously mad about that. So it just went left. It just went down here from there. We was never going to recover. He was never going to recover. I don't give a fuck about what he tried to say. He was on this. He really liked me. So don't even try to act like you don't like me, bro. We did. We stayed together and tried to work it out. But in the back of his mind, he was getting that lick back, okay? And he did. He did. I was heartbroken.
My dad is black, my mom is white, but I didn't know I was mixed until I was in the 6th grade, which actually sounds crazy to say out loud. However, it was my reality. I grew up in a very, very small town in North Carolina. So there were a lot of black people, a lot of white people, really not much in between. For reference, I also only grew up with my mom and her side of the family. And if anyone has anything to say about my mom and the way that she raised me, you will be immediately blocked because absolutely not. I could probably count on one hand how many, honestly, maybe even light-skinned people in my town, but for sure mixed biracial people. It just was not a thing. Growing up, I knew I obviously have curly hair, but my mom tanned really easily. So my hair was actually a lot lighter back then, so I had more blonde in my hair. And I just thought I was a white girl with curly hair and never really thought much about it because nobody said anything about it until I was in the 6th grade. I very vividly remember there was this guy that we went to church with. He was also, I think he actually might have been like 7th grade. What? Had a crush on him. Cool. Thought he had a crush on me as well. Remember AOL Instant Messenger? We were on there and we were talking, and I specifically remember having a conversation about liking each other because I don't know, what are we, 10, 11? He writes, my mom said that I can't date you because you're half black. I was like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not. Literally defensively said, no, I'm not, which thinking back, I'm like, wow, I probably looked like an idiot. I just never really paid attention until that moment. And then I started thinking, and I'm like, wait a second. Again, grew up with my mom, did not know who my dad was, never asked who my dad was. I just lived my life and did what I did. And if you were a mixed person in the 90s or early 2000s, we didn't have social media. The internet was not a thing like this, so you didn't see pictures of other mixed people. I just saw what I saw in my town, and that was it. Black or white. And I lived with a white family, so I assumed, oh, I must be white. I'm also clearly, especially in the winter, pretty light skinned. And in the summer, I turned the color of my mom. Literally never thought anything of it until the 6th grade, which led me to then approach my mom and just ask who my dad was. And she had no problem telling me. She was very, very upfront and transparent about it. And I can go into a whole story about her experience having a baby by a black man in the early 90s. I'm not gonna tell her story for her. Wasn't trying to hide it from me. She just figured there would be a time when I would come to her and ask her. She was also very, very young when she had me, and trying to navigate life with a mixed kid in a small racist town in the 90s, I can only imagine how that must have been for her. So again, this is no fault of hers for not sharing this information with me. And now that I have a son who, I'm obviously half black, half white. My husband is a black man. So my son is black. I know there will probably be some point in my son's life where he deals with something similar to what I have dealt with. And also my husband is a black man in America, so he has that perspective as well, which is what my son is going to face also. Very grateful that we both have experiences to share firsthand what it's like to be not white in America, because there's still a lot of racism that exists in our world, unfortunately. Curious, if you grew up in a small town as a mixed person, what was your experience like? I would love to know, because mine wasn't great.
My baby daddy texted me and told me his lawyers already have paperwork filled out ready for me to sign regarding custody for our daughter, and if I don't sign them, we're gonna go to trial for custody. This is coming from the same man that sent me an audio saying, if you win in court, you win. I don't care. I'll just go have a family with someone else, someone that's not like you. And yes, those were his exact words, and yes, I still have that audio saved in my phone. And this is coming from the same man that thought it was a flex to tell me if I went and applied for child support, they wouldn't give me much considering he works under the table. Matter of fact, I'll just let y'all listen to it yourself.
Because the job that I got for me is, trust me, how I got under the table, so I don't make much in the book, so I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know how y'all feel, but thinking it's a flex to work under the table so you don't have to provide for your child if your baby mama puts you on child support because they're only gonna make you pay bare minimum just doesn't sit right with me. Not to mention sending it to the parent that is parenting and providing for the child that is also yours 100% of the time, and then laughing about it. For all the people that ask me why I never ended up putting my baby daddy on child support, this is one of the reasons, but there's a couple more. I just knew if I ever took him for child support, he was gonna end up laughing in my face, and so I never did. But him having all this money for lawyers and to send me cease and desist letters, but not a dime to provide anything for our daughter speaks for itself. But this is the update for tonight, so I love you guys and thank you for your support.
My husband went on a last date with his ex a week before our wedding just to make sure. His ex was always the one that got away, according to everyone around him. He ended things with her because he didn't see a future with her, and everyone around him was so shocked because she was so good and so beautiful. Then we met, and I soon understood that everyone on his side preferred her. He never gave me any reason to doubt him ever. He always gave me the impression that he knew exactly what he wanted. He was always secure enough, and he even told me a couple months into our relationship that he loved me, and I never thought that he was lying about it. I never used to feel like I wasn't enough to him. He is fully aware of what people think about him leaving his ex, but he always gave me the impression that he thought that they were just silly and immature. He even told his mom that I'm the one that he chose, and if she wanted to be a part of that, then she needed to clean up her act. We got married 3 years ago now, and I only just recently found out that he went on a date with her a few days before our wedding. So I guess he wanted to know that she wasn't like everyone else thought, the one that got away.
Get ready with me while I explain things that my mom's crazy ex-husband did. And this is a part 3. He would make her shovel the driveway while pregnant, like snow, during the winter time, cold, and she was pregnant. One time he pushed her and she twisted her ankle. Because, like, you know, pushed her. After my little sister was born, he told my mom that she should be friends with someone that he was cheating on her with. And then he said he was trying to help her make friends. It was winter, and she asked for a winter coat, like for him to buy her one. And he went out, bought him and his son a coat. And then when my mom asked for a coat again, he said all she does is whine. He took my mom on vacation only to come back and then have another woman pregnant, like in 2 months. Anytime my mom would express how she felt, he would say, "Oh, you're too emotional," and sometimes he would hit her. And one time, I don't even know if I could say this, but he punched her in her temple, which I think is like in your head, and that can like really hurt someone, if you know what I'm trying to say. So my mom had 6 C-sections, and she was on like her 6th kid, I think, and she was having really bad contractions, and he made her drive to the hospital herself to have her baby, I think. I don't know if she gave birth that day, but my little brother, he was premature, so he had to stay in the NICU. And anytime my mom would ask her ex-husband to drive her to the hospital to like visit him, he would say, "You picked the wrong time to have a baby," and he wouldn't drive her there. He hit her like a lot while she was pregnant and left like multiple bruises on her. And then when she went to court to get a PFA, she had like all the photos of the bruises, and then I think they tried saying it was because she had low iron. Please excuse the way I say iron, I don't know how to say it. Even her doctor said it couldn't have been from low iron, like no bruises come from low iron.
I had a first date with this guy. I invited him over to my house. I know that's maybe putting myself out there too much, but I had a good feeling about him. I was excited. Anyways, I made him dinner. I made steak, potatoes, and carrots because I know he likes steak and I don't even eat meat, but I wanted to do something nice for him. I lit the candles and I did like the whole thing. He walks in, he sits down, I put the plate of food in front of him, he takes one look at it and he goes, I don't want carrots. I said, what did you just say? He said, I don't want carrots. And like, you need to understand because like, he didn't talk like that before, like, you know what I'm saying? And then like suddenly he did. I said, what was that you said one more time? Carrots off of rabbits and now I'm not a rabbit. And he shoved his plate, almost knocked over the candles. Carrots are for rabbits and I'm not a rabbit.
Have you heard of the girl from California that lives in London that stayed at the Airbnb?
No.
Her TikTok name is More with Megs, and she posted a TikTok about this and it's blown up everywhere. She's from California, was living in London, and when the wildfires happened, her hometown burnt down and she was just having like a really hard time with it. So she booked an Airbnb in the wilderness, like in the countryside.
In London?
Well, it's in the countryside of England, so not London. Just to like get away, you know?
It hurts, yes.
So she goes to this Airbnb and she messages the host before and is like, hey, is it accessible via train or how do I get there? And the host was like, actually, my son can pick you up if you're comfortable with that. So she gets out of the train and it's like a young, cute guy that's waiting there for her. And so he picks her up and he's driving her to the Airbnb. He's her age. They start talking and they just like get along really well in the car and they're like having banter and laughing and cracking jokes. When they get to the Airbnb, he says there's not a lot of food that you could get to like without a car. So if you want, I can pick you up and take you to dinner tonight if you don't have anything going on. So she says yes. So they go out to dinner.
I'm gonna throw up.
I know.
There's no way this is real. It can't be true.
They go out to dinner and she wants to pay to say thank you for picking me up and all this stuff. And he's like, no, I want to buy you dinner. And then they're on the car ride home and he like puts her on aux duty. And so she sees that his most recent song is Starting Over by Chris Stapleton. And she's like, this is my all-time favorite song in the whole world. And he's like, that's my #1 played song.
Vomit.
So they play it, they sing to it together. The car ride, are having so much fun. Then they realize that they have like all this random weird stuff in common. Like they both do like the same like wellness and health things and all that stuff. And then he drops her off.
With kids.
No.
He's married with kids.
He drops her off and he kisses her.
What?
Yes. And then the next morning he brings her coffee and breakfast and now they're dating. Isn't that so sweet? Like literally Hallmark. Isn't that just precious?
It's so beautiful.
A woman was accused of being heartless for not letting her extremely ill ex-husband come live with her and their kids. The woman explained in her Reddit post that she split from her husband 4 years ago and it was very messy. He said he wanted someone younger. The two share 3 children in their 20s. After the divorce, she never talked to him again face to face and they only communicated through lawyers when it had something to do with the kids. A few months ago, this woman found out through her kids, who all live with her, that her ex was diagnosed with a quickly advancing cancer. One day, her kids sat her down and informed her that their father could no longer work, meaning he couldn't keep his house and he had nowhere to live. The kids asked her if he could live with them during the final months of his life so that they could care for him. The woman said no and was immediately offended that the kids had even asked because she and her ex do not like each other. Her children called her heartless, believing that she should give their father the opportunity to have peace during his final moments on this earth. Her ex-husband even reached out to her, asking her to reconsider and put the past behind them. She's now asking if she's being petty or if she made the right decision. Commenters agreed that she has every right to put her own well-being first. She is under no obligation to allow him into her home and back into her life. What she can do is provide her children with emotional support during this difficult time for them. And there are other options like hospice or even having the kids move in with their father for them to consider. These kids trying to guilt their mother into housing their father is not only unfair, it's manipulative. She should be allowed to preserve her peace.
So, me and my boyfriend met over a year ago. We've been having fun this past year. We really enjoy each other's company. We're basically in love. We've talked a lot about marriage and kids and a future together, and that's pretty much where we're headed. The only problem is that he's married. So he's been married for 16 years, but him and his wife have completely lost connection with each other. They don't hang out, they don't go out on dates. He's not really attracted to her. And so pretty much I've just been waiting for him to go ahead and get the divorce so that me and him can get married. And that's pretty much what's going to happen next. The only reason why I haven't pushed back is because his wife is the breadwinner. And so she'll give him like a weekly allowance, and it's a lot of money. She makes a lot of money. So he gets a weekly allowance from her. And with that allowance, he's able to, you know, like take me out on dates. Sometimes every now and then when we can, we'll travel. She travels a lot for work. And so when she's traveling, we'll take that opportunity to go and do a vacation for us. He buys me gifts. He recently just got me, maybe 2 months ago, he got me an apartment in River Oaks, and he got me a new car to drive. Well, anyway, things have been going fine, and we weren't really having any issues. I mean, we never really suspected that she was on to us, but she found out about the affair, and she found some explicit photos and some explicit videos of me on his iPad. So since she found the explicit photos and the explicit videos, she went ahead and got mad at him. She filed for divorce. And at this point, I pretty much just had decided to stick with him, because as soon as they get their divorce, then me and him are going to get married. And that's pretty much how the plan has always gone. I mean, just because he's cheated on her doesn't mean, I know he's not going to do that to me. They're going to get a divorce and me and him are going to get married. But last week, I was served with their divorce papers. So basically, I've been subpoenaed to go to court for their divorce trial, because they're going to trial because she does not want him to get any of her money, and he feels like he deserves half. And I do too, even though he cheated, because that really doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. But I got subpoenaed to go to their trial to testify about the affair, what happened during the affair, how much money he spent on me during the affair, and then they're going to use the explicit videos and photos and basically play them in open court during their trial. And it's just going to be so embarrassing, and like I cannot let these videos get out. Like my grandmother is going to kill me when she sees this, if she has to see this. So now I'm looking for a lawyer to kind of help me with this whole situation and keep all of these videos and photos and keep me from having to testify about the affair at trial. My boyfriend, he's the one who actually found me a lawyer, and he's going to pay for it with his wife's money. So money is really not an object. I just need like the best lawyer in town like as quickly as possible. So yeah, and that's how dumb y'all be sounding after y'all call my office and y'all have been cheating, running around town with a married man, and you think he's gonna marry you after he's cheated on his wife, and you want me to represent you. Absolutely not.
One thing about it, and two things for sure, a man is always going to run to the weaker woman instead of being accountable to be with the woman that expects more out of him. Yeah, I said it. It's not rocket science. Men are lazy and they will always go with the weaker option. And I'm going to explain to you how I figured this out with someone that I dated. So the last dude that I talked to, loved him dearly, great guy, no beef with him at all. Cool, whatever. We grew into loving each other through a friendship, right? Totally not planned, whatever, it is what it is. So one day I told him, you know, I actually think it's better that we ended up as friends because I don't think we would have ended up good together in a relationship. He got so offended and he was like, what do you mean we wouldn't have been good in a relationship? I think we would have been great. You had the opportunity to turn us into a relationship and you didn't. This man looked at me dead in my face and said, I could never date you. You're too big time for me. Now I'm gonna break that down. He said, I could never date you. You're too big time for me. Mind you, the person speaking was a professional athlete. As if you read in between the lines of what that man said, he basically said, and this is what I got out of it, you're doing too much. You have too much motion. He knows everything that I do on social media. I also was a sports reporter at the time. Okay, I'm a sports reporter. I'm on TV. I work for the NFL. I do social media full time. I have my own life. I have my own money. I have my own career, and I have my own finances. I had everything without him. But growing over time and we learned to like each other, okay, we could have blended that together. But he said, you're too big time for me. I could never date you. And the reason is because I had expectations that I would have held him to that he knew, because I held him to those as a friend. So he knew it was going to be too much work to end up dating me because of the expectations that I hold being an independent woman with my own goals, aspirations, dreams, and money, my own home, my own everything. I had expectations for a man and how a man would treat me. And he knew he wasn't going to be able to uphold those expectations. So you know what the fuck happened? Ran to the weaker girl. The girl who had nothing. The girl who had no career. The girl who had barely a job. The girl that had no money. The girl that had no self-respect. The girl that had insecurities up the yin-yang. I'm secure within myself. I know who the fuck I am. If you're not treating me well, beat it. Cut. If you're cheating on me, cut. If you don't respect me, cut. He went with the girl that allows all of that to happen because she needs him for survival. I didn't need him to survive. I have everything on my own. He would have been an add-on to what I had going on. But she needed him for survival, and he knew that. So he went with her because he knew he could get away with everything that I wouldn't have allowed because she needs him. I didn't need him, I wanted him. Heavy on the I didn't need him, I wanted him. And he knew that. It's not rocket science. Or we mutually part ways, the men always end up with the weaker option. Because I actually have self-worth, self-discipline, self-respect. I'm very independent. I do my own thing. And it takes a very secure man to be with a woman like that. And then what's so crazy is the weaker one thinks they won. You didn't win, they settled. Everyone just settled at the end of the day. Everyone settles because they don't want to hold themselves to a higher standard and they don't want to work hard for it. Men don't want to work hard for anything. They barely want to get married anymore. And if they are married, they don't even uphold to the marriage standards. It's just a sheet of paper to them. Like, no one wants to actually work for something good. Everyone's just fucking lazy. So it's not rocket science, and you can't tell me that that's not true.
Mama 47 years old and I found herself pregnant. She want to go out there and be grown, and now she done got a baby. That's okay. You look on the bright side of things because you the only child and you don't plan on having no children. So this gonna be your sibling and your child and one. On the other hand, y'all live on separate sides of the United States. Now you about to be traveling all over the globe just to go tend to her and her baby. But at the same time, that's your mama and you want to give her flowers while she here because she's a great mama. Being a great daughter that you are, you playing her little gender reveal, you getting a little bit excited. So you book your flights, you have all your hair, nails, all your appointments lined up, you ready to go. You book your nail appointment the same day as your flight because your flight don't fly out till that night. So you book your nail appointment at 9 that morning. By 7:15, here come your nail tech. Hey, love. You already knew what time it was. She said her son was sick. You had to respect that. You said thank you. Instead of trying to find somebody in your area last minute, you got on social media, found somebody in your mama area, cut your flight, and flew out. You touched down, you was excited to see your mom. She looked very cute with her belly because she never wanted to show it to you. Y'all have a good night, finalizing everything for the gender reveal, and you asked her again, is the baby daddy coming or is his people coming? And she say, no, I told you I'm in this alone. You say, mama, you not alone, you got me. So the next morning, your appointment comes. And you get there early because there's somebody you unfamiliar with, and baby, we know how the text can be. So you get there and the next text is really nice. Like y'all making small talk, she asking you which brings you into town, etc., etc. When you tell her, girl, why you think my mama call her still being grown, getting pregnant at 47? Now we gonna call your mama Apple. She was like, hold on, your mama named Apple? You say, oh, you know my mama? She said, baby, the whole time know your mama. You say, excuse me, what? You say, well, I don't know if I should be telling you this because clearly your mama didn't tell you. You say, clearly my mama needs adult supervision, so tell me. So she said, girl, your mama is pregnant for a married man. Matter of fact, he married to my cousin. He was like, wait, what? She said, oh, but me and my cousin, we don't rock like that no more. You was like, no, they can't be my mama. Gotta be somebody else. She put the drill down, pulls out her phone, and proceeds to play a video. It was clearly your mama and a female arguing down the aisle in a grocery store. You say, is that your mama? That's my cousin. My cousin working at grocery store and they was arguing. I can show you a picture of my cousin and her husband. They only been married a couple of months. They went to the Justice of the Peace. So she pull up the picture and hand you the phone. You said, I know you lying. She said, you know him? You said, that's my husband.
I think I've gotten stood up because I was supposed to go on a date tonight and I drove 40 minutes to this man's place and he texts me 10 minutes as I'm driving and he goes, oh, I'll let you know when to come because I'm talking to my family right now. Like he was calling his family. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, I arrived and I was like, oh, okay, he'll just be on call with his family for a bit. Like, no biggie. 30 minutes fucking later, no text, no call, like, nothing after I say, oh, oops, I arrived early. He said, for fuck's sake, I'm by the water. So I parked near the water, can't see this man. And, like, at all, like, mind you, like, there's a lot of fucking water, so he could be anywhere. And, 30 minutes goes by. No response. I text him and I say, I say like, okay, this is like kind of ridiculous now. Can you text me back? And then nothing. Mind you, at this point, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna stick this shit out because I wanna literally rage. It's been a fucking hour, guys. An hour, no text, no call. Mind you, I've tried to call him, attempted, nothing. Drier than my fucking cooch right now. I am so angry. I could actually be violent. Like, I'm just, you know what I'm expecting to see right now? I'm expecting to see him with another girl walk straight past me. Like, that's exactly what I'm, like, my mind is picturing right now. And I just want it to be true so I can go out there and strangle him. Anyway, I hope your night's better than mine because I think I might have to drive home. A 40-minute drive home, and mind you, this is like 20 minutes away from my work tomorrow, so that's just a big plus for me. So hope your night's going better than mine.
My husband cheated on me with 17 men and is asking me for forgiveness. My name is Sarah. I'm 30 years old, married, and I have 4 kids. 10 years ago, I married my now husband the traditional way. His family came, asked for my hand, and we got married without knowing each other. But after marrying him, I started loving him and I became obsessed with him. He was such a great man. We lived in one city, but his job was in another city. It was like a touristy city. He would go there for 25 days and come back to us, stay with us for 5 to 7 days. And we continued living like this for a while. He worked in hotel management or something like that. All I knew is that he worked in an area where it's full of tourists and hotels, and That's what he did. He saw tourists all day, every day. For 7 years, we lived the best life ever. We had 4 beautiful kids, and he was such a great husband and a great father. I'm a beautiful woman. I take care of myself, make sure my hair is good, my nails are done, and I always look good for him. I'm responsible for the kids. I do everything for them. I cook, I clean, and I take care of everything around the house. He only works and provides for us, but I'm the one taking care of everything else. 3 years ago, he came home from work out of nowhere and was like, you know what? We've never been on a vacation together with the kids. Just prepare everything and let's leave. And that's exactly what we did. The kids and I were ecstatic and so happy that we would finally take a vacation together with their dad. We went to a resort and we were having a blast for the first couple of days. We were all swimming and he was playing with the kids. Everything was going perfectly fine and amazing. One day I had to go to the suite to grab something, so I left him with the kids at the pool and I went inside by myself. I went inside the suite, I did what I had to do, and then I was about to leave, and subhanAllah, right by the time I got to the door, his phone pings. He left it in the room before he went out swimming with the kids. I went to grab his phone so I could take it to him, and then I don't know what possessed me to grab his phone and open it and look through it. Keep in mind, he never gave me any reason to feel any type of way. I just opened it to open it. I wasn't feeling anything or thinking anything of it. As I'm looking through his phone, I see so many notifications, different apps, and hundreds of messages between him and different women. I was so confused and didn't know what was going on. I couldn't believe myself. I'm just looking and scrolling. Nothing made sense to me at first. All the messages were flirting, disgusting, so inappropriate. There were pictures and videos and everything. I kept convincing myself and being like, you know what? No, these are just tourists, people that he's dealing with. There is nothing between them. I was in disbelief, but I continued snooping and searching through his phone. Then I see a thread between him and someone. This person had a profile picture, and their picture was a rainbow flag. I didn't expect anything when I opened the thread of messages between both of them. But then as soon as I opened it, my God, the floor literally started spinning under me. I don't know much about it, but I'm 100% sure the guy he's talking to is gay. And one of the last messages this guy sends my husband, he was mad at him, telling him, why didn't you come and see me? You didn't like it last time we were together? There were hundreds of messages between the two of them. They were in a full-blown relationship, talking, sending each other's pictures, videos, disturbing things that I could not even fathom opening. I was just looking at as much as I can, but couldn't open and see everything because it was just so disturbing and disgusting. And subhanAllah, right at that moment, he walks in and he sees his phone in my hand. He knew it. He saw my face and knew it. I turn around and I start screaming and crying and attacking him. And he panicked and he got so scared and he broke down. Literally, right then and there. He was on the ground crying and begging me to listen to him. And I looked at him, I was like, explain and tell me what. I saw everything. He was like, no, listen to me. You have to hear me out. I was like, okay, what is it? He told me, hey, I'm going to tell you the whole truth. I was like, okay, what other truth? I saw everything. Then he dropped it on me like an explosive on my head. He was like, I'm so sorry. It was just 17 of them. He's sitting there telling me that he only had a sexual relationship with 17 men. 17 men. I'm not gonna lie, I just lost it. I lost it on him and on myself. I'm like, 17? What are you talking about? So you're gay? And he was like, oh no, I'm not gay. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, they're gay, I'm not gay. Sir, you had a sexual relationship with 17 men. What does that make you? Like, what? Just because they're openly gay and you don't identify as one, that means you're not? I lost it and I had a mental breakdown. I literally had to go to the hospital that day. And the whole time he's begging me and explaining it to me, trying to convince me why he was doing it. And I just couldn't. I can't. I got tested that day to make sure that I was clean. And I looked at him and said, hey, you have to get tested too. He looks at me and tells me, oh, we have to do it every 6 months. I guess he wasn't a manager after all, because apparently if you have to get tested for STDs every 6 months, what does that have to do with management? It all felt like a nightmare. I couldn't believe that I was that blind or that he was that good. This man is not a manager. This man is selling himself to tourists, to men and women, and he doesn't think that he's bi or gay. He was sorry, but he was justifying everything he was doing. I don't understand. How are you gonna cheat with men and not consider yourself at least bisexual? Like, what? That happened 3 years ago, and I still cannot get over it. He still goes to work and stays about 25 days and comes back for a week. But during that week, I do not leave my room whatsoever. I don't talk to him. I don't cook for him. I don't do anything. We live two separate lives. I don't know where to go or what to do. Both my parents passed away, and I'm all alone. I have no family to turn to. I have 4 kids, and they love their father. And they don't know anything because they didn't tell anyone about what I found out. Nothing's changed. He still does the same thing because he works and he goes for 25 days. So I'm pretty sure he's still doing the same thing. For the people that would tell me to just pick up and leave, I can't. I don't have the means to support my kids. I have no family, no money, nothing. I am so sad and heartbroken. I live in Egypt and I don't know where to go or who to talk to or who could help me.
Ladies, let me know in the comment section down below. Did you love this Storytime compilation? Should I do another one for Sunday? Let me know in the comment section down below. We just kicked off the year and we are going strong. We are going juicy. Let me know in the comment section down below whether you enjoyed this video. Anyway, ladies, by the way, I have something I want to introduce to you. For those who are my fans, I'm starting a tour company that is meant to bring you women to Africa, starting off with Kenya to experience the good vibes over here. The name of the company is No Oasis Experiences, and I would love to know whether you are interested. I have 2 trips coming up, one in August, whereby you shall visit Masai Mara and see the wildebeest migration, which is one of the wonders of the world, and the second trip will be during Christmas this year. So let me know whether you want the specifics. Should I go ahead and launch it? Okay, I believe I've already gone ahead and done that already. And as you can see, this is the logo of the company. We have a globe, meaning like all of us from different parts of the world. Black or white, you can see the 2 women. We'll be traveling around the globe, especially we'll start here with Africa. Once we exhaust Africa, we go to other continents. We go to each continent, let me tell you, and we learn different cultures as women. We travel as women. We offer you experiences that are transforming you. Like, let me tell you, last year I went to Dubai on May, and that experience really transformed me. It's good to travel to other countries and see different things by day. So let me know whether you want me to break it down for you, because let me tell you, I have something so interesting organized for you this year. When you guys come, the ones that will come, we'll have like a sit down, a spa time. We talk as women. We have like a small conference. Like, we have a lot of merch. And by the way, something else that I'm also working on this channel is merch. I'm stuck. I have very nice ideas of merch, drawn, prepared, like ready. But my only problem is that you as my audience are US, UK. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what shipping company to use. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you do any of these, please reach out to me. We can strike a deal. Like, I will really appreciate. Anyway, let me tell you this last story in this video about the woman who drove 40 minutes to see a man. She sounds really desperate. My God, I will never have them come to you, but not to your house, to your city, to somewhere close by. Yeah, and the other stories in this compilation were crazy too. Like the guy who says he doesn't like carrots, speaking like a baby, and the state offering the payouts of that baby daddy to the baby mama. Oh my God, that was so satisfying. That is the most satisfying video I've seen today or all week. Let me just say that. And the woman who's talking about how her ex-husband slept with 17 different men, like, oh my God, that is very diabolical. And the fact that she cannot move from that relationship. That's why we always advise ladies, please get your own, have your own money, have your own cushion, have a rainy day fund. Don't say that he can't do that to me. Let me tell you, the people who say that he can never, that's when he comes nevering like ever before. So protect yourself, protect your children, protect your financial future. Don't be so sure with anyone. If you're not depending on your parents as much as you're old, what makes you depend on a man, a stranger? Like, this is not your brother, this is not your father. Like, how are you so comfortable, you know? Anyway, I hope you love this compilation. I hope you love my idea. Please share in the comment section down below. Please share what you think about this, and I'll be happy to officially like explain everything to you, give you the specifics of the trip, provide the itinerary for you. Everything is coming up in another video that is specifically made for that. Anyway, have a nice weekend ahead of you, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.